In this tutorial, we are going to create an abstract artwork using liquid. Set up a flat tray near a bright window and pour in some milk. Now, using food coloring or ink, draw in some patterns onto the surface of the milk with an earbud or a small brush. You can use a number of different colors. You will need to work quite quickly, don't bump the tray, and complete the design working through live view. Now take a photograph of the design. It doesn't really matter what colors you start with, because in Photoshop we're able to change the hues quite dramatically. Here with the processing, I'm also going to solarize the abstract just a little bit. And I'm going to adjust the brightness and contrast just a touch. As you can see, this is a control technique and the results can be quite interesting. For an uncontrolled result, put a little bit of dishwashing liquid on the tip of an earbud. Now gently touch the surface of the milk and the chemical reaction will create reactive circles. To take this even further, pour quite a lot of food coloring into the milk. Again, use a couple of different colors. Keep in mind, every time we add ink, the milk is going to go darker and darker. So you may want to start this technique with a fresh, clean tray of milk. Now drop the dishwashing liquid right in the middle of the ink, and the reaction is quite spectacular. I would recommend that you wait before you start photographing. Let the reaction complete and the patterns form, and then you can take pictures. Photographing it now will result in soft, out of focus pictures. Regardless, this technique doesn't lead to a sharp, crisp result. So in Photoshop, I'm going to alter the hues slightly to give it a more interesting color. And then using the filter gallery, I'm going to apply a plastic wrap filter over the top, which will help to sharpen up the edges. Another way to sharpen up this abstract technique is to use oil. Any cooking oil will do. Drop the cooking oil over the abstract and it will create little circles with sharpened highlight edges. It almost starts to look like the cosmos. You can add as many as you like to complete the design. Here is a photograph without the cooking oil, and here's a photograph with it. You will see it is much sharper. To take the technique even further, you can apply spray paint to the artwork. Here I'm using white with a little bit of gold. You can photograph it immediately, or you can allow it to dry and then put indentations into the surface of the paint to create interesting effects. This will enhance the texture and it will start to look like an aerial photograph. Again, the result is unusual and quite spectacular. Lastly, you can use a sharp instrument to break up the texture and then photograph for overlays. The texture can be used as a blend over an original in Photoshop. And as we've seen, simple images will create high visual impact.